Your thoughts aren't mere concepts, they're designs for existence. This audiobook discloses the timeless lore of the quantum vitality law, unveiling how your awareness steers the cosmos's vitality itself. Nothing in your existence is random. It's a mirror of your oscillation. The instant you seize this fact, all alters profoundly. The quantum vitality law. Introduction. Drift your mind to those astonishing instants that defied rationale, when you sensed who was contacting before the device rang, when you pondered someone seconds before they materialized, when your profoundest aspirations substantiated as if by enchantment. These weren't flukes, they were peaks through the shroud, dividing common perception from supreme being. The elders grasped what quantum physicists are merely now commencing to comprehend. Being isn't rigid but fluid, not firm, but oscillating vitality, not detached from awareness, but intimately molded by it. This lore wasn't intended to stay veiled. It has surfaced across history in shards, hinted in shrines, encoded in scrolls, and transmitted through lineages of seers who grasped existence's true essence. You've been drawn to this lore because you're primed to stir to your role as a mindful shaper of being. The quantum vitality law discloses that your cognition's sentiments and convictions aren't simply passive watchers of being. They're the very powers that mold it. Every instant you're transmitting vitality into the quantum domain, and this domain replies with flawless accuracy to your dominant oscillation. Envision being as an endless sea of possibility waves, awaiting to collapse into shape at awareness's direction, your awareness. When you comprehend this principle, truly seize it at your being's deepest tier, you commence seeing that all in your existence, every condition, every bond, every encounter is a reflection of your inner vitality state. This antique insight has been preserved and shielded, awaiting the juncture when humanity would be ready to reclaim its might as mindful shapers. That juncture is now, and you've been summoned to this lore because you're prepared to venture into your true might as a forger of being. The cosmos functions via exact, unchangeable laws, just as gravity operates steadily. Whether you grasp it or not, the quantum vitality law is eternally effective, reacting to your vitality with numerical precision. Part 1. Awakening to Quantum Vitality. Chapter 1. The Concealed Weave of Being. In the core of a boundless wilderness, beneath a firmament adorned with innumerable celestial bodies, strolled Lena, a youthful explorer, drawn by those peculiar instants that defied explanation. When she pondered a lost companion, they appeared from the mist. When she yearned for shelter, a hidden glade emerged. These weren't coincidences, they were glimpses through the veil. The elders grasped what quantum physicists are only now beginning to understand. Being is not fixed, but fluid, not solid, but vibrating vitality. In those moments when your deepest wishes materialize as if by magic, you touch the truth that awareness shapes the fabric of existence. Your cognitions are not confined to your mind. They ripple through the quantum domain, touching and transforming all. To awaken your own link to this quantum domain, practice this ancient ceremony of vitality perception. Find a serene area and sit comfortably. Rest your palms upward on your lap. Seal your eyes and inhale thrice profoundly. Now imagine your perception broadening like waves on a lake. Sense the faint feelings in your palms, the tingle, the warmth, the gentle throb. This is not fancy, but your initial glimpse of the quantum vitality domain that encircles and infuses all. Slowly converge your palms, then separate them, noticing the resistance, the magnetic quality amid them. This feeling discloses the fact you are not detached from the domain of vitality that forges being. You are an integral part of it, constantly engaging with and molding it via your awareness. Practice this perception daily, and you'll start sensing the subtle ways your vitality impacts the world around you. Chapter 2. You are a vitality being. In the fog-enshrouded summits of those antique ridges, where few ventured, lived an enigmatic recluse known for his odd doctrines. One stormy dusk, as the orb tinted the heavens in amber shades, a merchant who had lost his path sought refuge in the recluse's grotto. "Your form is not you," the recluse said without prelude. "It's merely the densest part of your vitality domain." The merchant chuckled. dismissing the old man's words as isolation's ramblings. But as the night deepened, peculiar events unfolded. When the merchant spoke of his frustrations, the grotto's temperature dropped sharply. When he shared tales of joy, the flames of their fire danced higher. Most striking, when anger filled his thoughts, small pebbles began to shift near his feet. You see, the recluse observed your vitality signature reaches far beyond your flesh. Every cognition, every feeling radiates outward, touching and transforming the world around you. Through the long night, the recluse revealed how humans exist as fields of living vitality, constantly broadcasting their inner state into the universe. Your cognitions and sentiments are not contained within you. They are signals, oscillations that ripple through the tapestry of being, drawing back experiences that match their oscillation. To experience this truth directly, practice this ancient rite. Stand in any chamber and become aware of its current atmosphere. Notice the quality of vitality, heavy or light, stagnant or flowing. Now seal your eyes and recall a moment of pure joy. Let this feeling fill your entire frame. Hold this state for several minutes, then open your eyes and observe how the chamber's vitality has shifted. This is not sorcery, the recluse said, but the natural law of vitality interaction. As you master your oscillation, you master your being. Chapter 3. The Observer Effect. In the hallowed corridors of an antique sanctuary where insight echoed through epochs, a devoted learner named Theo spent his days studying consecrated scrolls. His guide, watching him pore over manuscripts about realization, approached with an unusual proposition. Beneath these very stones lies a chest of silver, the guide stated simply. But Guide Theo replied, "These floors have been swept and studied for centuries. Surely someone would have found it." "Only those who expect to find treasure will uncover it," the guide said. "For the next 7 days walk these corridors, knowing, not hoping, but knowing that silver awaits beneath your feet." Though skeptical, Theo followed his guide's instructions. Each morning he paced the sanctuary floors, cultivating an unshakable certainty that treasure lay beneath. On the 7th day, his foot caught an odd groove in a stone. Upon closer inspection, he discovered a hidden compartment containing an antique chest filled with silver relics. How did generations of learners miss this? Theo asked in amazement. They saw only what they expected to see: empty stones and familiar passages, his guide explained. Your expectation shaped being itself, bringing forth what was always possible, but never manifest. This truth extends beyond sanctuary walls, as demonstrated by the tale of Nadia, a vendor in the bustling markets of old. Each morning, Nadia would envision how her patrons would behave that day. When she anticipated rudeness, even her regular patrons grew short-tempered. When she expected generosity, strangers would purchase her wares at premium prices. Eventually, she realized her expectations were not predicting behavior, they were creating it. The ancient rite of being shaping remains accessible to all who would master it. Choose a small specific event you wish to manifest within the next day. Perhaps a golden leaf crossing your path, or receiving an unexpected gift. Spend 15 minutes in absolute certainty of this outcome. Do not hope or wish. Know it as if it has already occurred. Release the thought completely, and observe how being aligns with your expectation. Record each success, building your understanding of this fundamental law. The cosmos is not a fixed painting, but a canvas awaiting your brushstroke of expectation. Chapter 4. Quantum Oscillation. In the foggy ridges of the Orient lived Marcus, a roaming bard, who stumbled upon a peculiar lute in a forsaken shrine. The lute, crafted from wood that seemed to glimmer with internal radiance, bore an inscription. To play this lute is to play the strings of existence itself. At first, Marcus approached it as he had every other instrument, focusing on technique and precision. But one evening, as his heart swelled with gratitude for the simple beauty of the sunset, his fingers moved of their own accord. The music that emerged was unlike anything he had ever created. And as the notes filled the air, silver light began to dance around him. Flowers bloomed out of season and birds appeared from nowhere to join his melody. Fascinated, Marcus experimented further. When he played from a place of worry, storm clouds gathered. When he aligned with joy, strangers appeared bearing gifts. He realized the lute wasn't creating these effects, it was merely amplifying the oscillation of his own sentimental state. In a village not far from Marcus's ridge lived Lena, a potter renowned for her exceptional craftsmanship. For years she had struggled to shape the most challenging pieces until an old master shared a forgotten secret. Clay sings at different oscillations. Match your own vitality to the oscillation it needs, and it will yield to your touch. Lena discovered that when she approached her wheel with frustration, the clay became brittle and unyielding. But when she aligned her breath, her focus and her vitality with the task, the clay seemed to flow like fluid beneath her hands. Her creations became legendary, not because she had learned new techniques, but because she had mastered the art of vital alignment. The ancient rite of oscillation alignment remains available to all who would master it. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Begin with 3 deep breaths, each one raising your vitality like a tuning fork being struck. Now recall a moment of pure joy, not the memory but the feeling itself. Let it fill your chest, your throat, your entire being. Feel your oscillation rising with each breath. Hold this state for several minutes, noting how your body tingles, how the air around you seems to change. This is your natural oscillation of attraction. Practice this daily, watching as life begins to mirror your elevated state. Through Marcus's music and Lena's craft, we glimpse the eternal truth. What we attract is not determined by what we do, but by the oscillation we maintain. The cosmos responds not to our actions, but to our vital signature. Chapter 5. Shifting Timelines. In the fog-enshrouded valleys of an antique ridge range, Liam followed a peculiar moth with wings that seemed to shimmer between different hues. The moth led him to a peculiar stone gateway covered in symbols that appeared to shift and change as he watched. As he stepped through, the world around him multiplied like fractals in a mirror. He saw himself not one but many versions. In one being he had chosen to become a trader and lived in prosperity. In another, he had remained in his hamlet teaching youth the old ways. Each version rippled with different choices, different convictions, different vital oscillations. An ancient voice whispered, "Every cognition you think, every conviction you hold, every oscillation you maintain creates a doorway. You are not walking a single path, you are navigating an infinite sea of possibilities." In a distant kingdom, a guardian named Sophia prepared for the battle of her life. Night after night, she trained until exhaustion, yet victory seemed impossible against her formidable opponent. One evening, an elder approached her with a scroll. "Close your eyes." The elder instructed. "There exists a version of you who has already achieved victory. Feel her strength, her confidence, her knowing. Step into her vitality." Sophia followed these instructions, immersing herself in the feeling of already being victorious. She felt her posture change, her breath deepen, her vitality align with this accomplished version of herself. When the day of battle arrived, she moved with otherworldly grace, as though she were simply remembering movements she had already mastered. The quantum domain holds infinite versions of your being, each vibrating at a unique oscillation, waiting to be activated by your awareness. Your power lies not in creating what you desire, but in aligning with the version of being where it already exists. Sacred rite of being shifting. Sit in silence and close your eyes. Breathe deeply until your mind grows still. Now envision the version of you who has already manifested your deepest desire. Sense their vitality, their certainty, their state of being. Notice how they move, how they speak, how they carry themselves. Allow yourself to merge with this vitality until the boundary between present and future self begins to dissolve. Throughout your day, pause occasionally and ask, "How would my future self approach this situation?" Then align your vitality with that higher version of you. Let their certainty become your certainty, their peace become your peace, their mastery become your mastery. This right was not pretending, it is choosing to exist as your future self now. Your awareness has already made the leap being must follow. Chapter 6. Vital Resistance. In a monastery perched high in the ridges where wisdom echoed through time, young Marcus approached Master Li with frustration etched across his face. For months he had diligently practiced the ancient manifestation ceremonies, yet his deepest wishes remained unfulfilled. Why do my invocations go unheard? Marcus asked, his voice heavy with disappointment. Without speaking, Master Li led him down a winding path to the rushing brook below. The water moved with tremendous force, carving its path through ancient rock. Step into the brook, Master Li instructed, and push against its flow with all your might. Marcus waded into the cool water and pressed his hands against the current. The more he pushed, the more the brook pushed back, nearly knocking him off balance. His muscles strained as he fought against the unstoppable force. Now Master Li called out, "Stop resisting and let the brook guide you." As Marcus relaxed his stance, he found himself moving in harmony with the water, floating effortlessly in its embrace. In the valley below lived Nadia, a farmer whose modest plot neither grew nor diminished, maintaining the same level of yield regardless of seasons. During bountiful times, her neighbors' harvests soared, while hers remained steady. In lean times, while others struggled, her produce held constant. This pattern persisted until an elderly visitor watching Nadia return excess to the soil smiled knowingly and said, "You maintain your growth exactly where you believe it should be, no more, no less. Your yield is obedient to your innermost conviction of what you deserve." Just as Nadia unconsciously regulated her growth to match her internal beliefs, you too possess a growth thermostat, a deep-seated conviction about your deserved level of expansion. This invisible setting works tirelessly to maintain your status quo, either sabotaging opportunities that exceed your comfort zone or supporting endeavors that align with your inner expectations. The cosmos flows like the brook, carrying all possibilities toward you. But when you resist through fear, doubt, or contradiction, you create a force that blocks this natural flow. Your invocations are always heard, but your resistance prevents their manifestation. Sacred rite of vitality clearing. Find a quiet space and settle into a comfortable position. Place your hands over your heart and breathe deeply. With each exhale, release a layer of resistance. Breathe out your doubts about deserving. Breathe out your fears of disappointment. Breathe out your disbelief in what's possible. Now imagine a golden radiance flowing through you, dissolving any remaining blocks. Feel yourself becoming like the brook fluid, accepting in perfect flow. As this radiant vitality moves through your body, let it illuminate every corner of doubt, every shadow of disbelief. The radiance carries with it the power of pure possibility, washing away layers of limitation that have accumulated over time. Stay here until you sense a lightness in your being, a sign that resistance has melted away, and you have become a perfect channel for the cosmos's abundance. Chapter 7. The Quantum Vacuum. In a time beyond memory, a seer named Sophia dwelt in a concealed cavern at existence's edge. Those who sought her wisdom spoke of her ability to manifest objects from thin air as though pulling them from an invisible realm. One day a truth seeker journeyed to her cavern. "Show me where creation begins," she asked. Sophia guided her deep into the cavern until no light remained. In the perfect darkness, she whispered, "This void you fear is the womb of all possibilities. Before there was something, there was nothing, and within that nothing lived everything that could ever be." As her eyes adjusted, she began to perceive subtle movements in the darkness, like ripples in an infinite ocean. The emptiness wasn't empty at all. It pulsed with potential. In a distant village, an artisan named Marcus labored to craft the uncraftable. Each night he sketched his ideas only to crumple them in frustration. One evening, exhausted from his efforts, he sat in silence. In that space between thoughts, a strange clarity emerged. He realized that every creation he sought already existed in potential form, waiting to be discovered rather than created. The quantum vacuum is not a void of nothingness, but a domain of infinite possibility, an endless ocean of unmanifested vitality. It contains every conceivable being in seed form, waiting to be called into physical existence. Your awareness is the force that causes these seeds to sprout into physical existence. This is not supernatural. It is your natural state forgotten, but not lost. Sacred rite of stillness. Sit in absolute silence. Close your eyes and allow your breath to become so subtle it barely disturbs the air. Feel yourself entering the quantum domain, the birthplace of all creation. Notice how this domain isn't empty, but charged with potential. Let your breath become so subtle that you barely disturb the air. Like the gentlest whisper of wind across still waters in this profound stillness, sense the infinite possibilities surrounding you. Each one a seed of potential waiting to bloom into existence. You are not separate from this domain. You are it expressing itself in human form, a living channel of its divine expression. With every inhalation, feel the boundless power of the cosmos flowing through you like a sacred river of radiance. This eternal force moves through your body, mind, and spirit as naturally as fluid flows downstream, for you are a living channel of its divine expression since time immemorial. Chapter 8. Embodying the future you. In the heart of those antique ridges, where few dared venture, Marcus sought those who had mastered the art of being. Those weren't miracles, they were applications of cosmic law. The cosmos responds not to what you want, but to who you are. Every desired being has a corresponding vitality signature, a specific oscillation of cognition, sentiment, and conviction. When you align yourself with this signature, you become a natural match for that being. This is not pretense or mere acting. It is vital alignment at the deepest level. The future version of you who has already achieved your dreams exists now in potential form. By embodying their vitality, you create a bridge between present and future. Inner world alignment right. Sit in stillness and observe your current circumstances without judgment. Notice how each aspect of your life reflects your inner state. Take 3 deep breaths, allowing yourself to sense the connection between your cognitions, sentiments, and the world around you. Close your eyes and feel the vitality of your being. What convictions do you hold about yourself? What sentiments dominate your inner journey? As you identify these motifs, recognize them in your external being. Now consciously choose a new inner state. If you seek abundance, cultivate inner wealth. If you desire peace, become peace itself. Hold this elevated state for several minutes, knowing the outer world must shift to match this new oscillation. Throughout your day, pause to align your inner state with your desired being. Remember, the cosmos is not a fixed painting, but a canvas awaiting your brushstroke of expectation. Your inner transformation shapes the reshaping of your outer world. Chapter 9. The Cosmic Mirror. In the kingdom of old, where wisdom echoed through time, Queen Nadia ruled from a silver throne. Yet peace eluded her. Each morning she gazed across her realm, watching as storms gathered when her heart was troubled, and sunshine broke through when joy touched her spirit. When fear of betrayal haunted her thoughts, her most loyal advisors grew distant. But on days when gratitude filled her heart, the gardens bloomed with unprecedented vigor. And when she felt genuine love for her people, the kingdom prospered beyond measure. A wise elder observed her pattern and approached the throne. "Your Majesty, have you not noticed? The kingdom is but a mirror reflecting the landscape of your inner world." Through months of observation, Nadia discovered the truth. Her realm was not responding to her commands, but to her awareness. The kingdom's prosperity flowed not from her decrees, but from her state of being. In a distant hamlet, a weaver named Theo wove tapestries renowned for their beauty. Though his skill was great, his creations varied dramatically with his self-image. When doubt clouded his mind, his pieces emerged rough and uninspired. But in moments when he recognized his mastery, his hands wove wonders that seemed touched by divine grace. One day, Theo realized that his work reflected not his technical ability, which remained constant, but his inner relationship with himself. His self-worth shaped not only his creations, but the opportunities that flowed into his life. The outer world serves as a faithful mirror reflecting back your deepest convictions in sentimental states. This is not metaphor, but cosmic law. Your circumstances, bonds, and experiences align precisely with your inner landscape. Change within and the outer must follow. This is the immutable nature of being. Sacred right. Sit in stillness and observe your current circumstances without judgment. Notice how each aspect of your life reflects your inner state. Take 3 deep breaths, allowing yourself to sense the connection between your cognitions, sentiments, and the world around you. Close your eyes and feel the vitality of your being. What convictions do you hold about yourself? What sentiments dominate your inner space? As you identify these motifs, recognize them in your external world. Now consciously choose a new inner state if you seek abundance. Cultivate inner wealth. If you desire peace, become peace itself. Hold this elevated state for several minutes, knowing the outer world must shift to match this new oscillation. Throughout your day, pause to align your inner state with your desired being. Remember, the cosmos is not a fixed painting, but a canvas awaiting your brushstroke of expectation. Chapter 10. The Quantum Shift. In a concealed grove where ancient trees whispered secrets of the ages, a learner named Sophia sought wisdom from Master Elena. For years, Sophia had traveled far and wide collecting knowledge like precious gems, believing each new teaching would finally unlock her potential. "Tell me," Master Sophia asked, "what final wisdom will complete my understanding?" Master Elena smiled, her eyes twinkling with knowing amusement. "What if I told you that you have carried the greatest power within you since the day you drew your first breath?" Sophia's brow furrowed. "But I have studied for years, and in all your studies," Master Elena replied, "have you not simply remembered what your soul has always known? When truth resonates, does it not feel like recognizing an old friend?" Through a series of gentle questions, Master Elena guided Sophia to see how every profound teaching had merely awakened something dormant within her. Each principle, the fluid nature of being, the power of oscillation, the mirror of awareness, had felt true, because they were already written in her being. "The cosmos is not external to you," Master Elena explained. "You are the cosmos experiencing itself. The power to shape being was never something to be earned. It was her birthright as it is yours. You have walked through the gates of understanding, unveiled the mysteries of quantum vitality, and recognized the Creator within. There is nothing more to seek, nothing more to become." Sacred right. Find a quiet space and sit comfortably. Place your hands over your heart. Breathe deeply, feeling the life force flowing through your body. Speak these words of remembrance. "I am not separate from the power that creates worlds. I am that power in expression. I now reclaim my natural state of being." Feel the vitality rising within you not as something new, but as an ancient force awakening from slumber. Let it fill every cell, every cognition, every breath. Allow yourself to remember your true nature. Feel the artificial boundaries between you and the cosmos dissolving. You are both the dreamer and the dream. Sit in this awareness for as long as feels right. When you open your eyes, carry this remembrance with you. You are not becoming powerful. You are power itself awakening to its true nature. Part 2. Mastering the Quantum Manifestation Process. Chapter 11. Vitality Calibration. In the foggy harbors of a venerable port, a voyager named Marcus searched for Lena, a navigator whose vessels never lost their way. Tales spoke of Lena's ability to guide ships through gales that swallowed other vessels whole, and through mist so thick it seemed solid as rock. When Marcus finally found her, Lena stood barefoot on weathered planks, eyes closed, swaying slightly as if to music only she could hear. "How do you navigate when stars hide and storms rage?" Marcus asked. Lena opened her eyes. "Remove your boots," she said simply. "Feel what lies beneath." Marcus did as instructed, and Lena guided his attention to subtle sensations beneath his feet. The world pulses with currents of vitality, like rivers flowing beneath the earth. When you align with these currents, you flow effortlessly toward your destination. To demonstrate, Lena led Marcus onto her ship, instead of consulting maps or stars. She closed her eyes and adjusted her posture, breath and vitality until she felt complete resonance with their intended harbor. The ship, as if guided by an invisible hand, glided smoothly through the mist. In the ridges far away, a carver named Sophia discovered this same truth through stone. Before touching her tool to granite, she would sit with the raw stone for days, attuning herself to its essence until she could feel the finished masterpiece resonating within. Only when her vitality matched the oscillation of her vision would she begin to carve, and the stone seemed to release its form effortlessly beneath her hands. Vitality alignment right. Sit quietly and focus on your breath. Feel the vitality flowing through your body. Now bring to mind a goal or desire instead of straining toward it. Sense its unique oscillation. How it would feel to already be living that being. Adjust your breath posture and sentimental state until you feel yourself resonating with that oscillation. Like Lena feeling the currents beneath her feet, or Sophia sensing the sculpture within the stone. Allow yourself to align naturally with the vitality of your desire. Maintain this resonance for several minutes, noting how your body feels when in perfect alignment. Pay attention to the subtle shift in your vitality, perhaps a warmth in your chest, a lightness in your limbs, or a deep sense of peace washing over you. This is your compass, your tool, the instrument that transforms possibility into being through the science of vital alignment. Like a master craftsman who knows the exact pressure needed to shape stone, you will learn to recognize and cultivate these moments of perfect attunement, for they are the gateway through which your desires flow into manifestation. Chapter 12. Thought Form Alchemy. In a remote sanctuary perched high in the peaks, where shadows danced on weathered barriers, Marcus discovered a leather-bound tome covered in strange emblems. Its pages shimmered with odd symbols that seemed to shift and dance in the taper light. As he traced the first emblem with his finger, a surge of vitality coursed through his body, awakening something dormant. The symbols weren't mere markings, they were keys unlocking the quantum potential of his mind. Your brain is not simply a processor of information, it is a quantum receiver capable of accessing infinite fields of knowledge. The emblems in that ancient tome activate what already existed, the ability to transcend ordinary human limitations and tap into cosmic awareness. In the Western Valleys, a navigator named Lena discovered this same truth through her charts. Other captains questioned how she always chose the safest routes, avoiding storms that seemed to appear from nowhere. "I don't see the weather," she would say. "I feel it in the quantum domain. The information is always there, waiting to be accessed." The quantum mind exists beyond the constraints of time and space. When fully activated, it perceives being not as fixed events, but as waves of possibility. This is not supernatural. It is your natural state, forgotten, but not lost. Quantum mind activation right. Sit in absolute stillness. Draw this ancient emblem in your mind's eye, a spiral moving inward, getting smaller, until it reaches a single point of infinite potential. As you visualize this, feel your awareness expanding beyond your physical form. Now place your palms up on your lap. Imagine streams of quantum information flowing through your crown, down through your body, and out through your palms. Your palms will begin to tingle as they become sensitive to subtle vitality domains. Focus on a specific question or situation in your life, rather than thinking about it. Allow your quantum mind to directly access the information domain. Notice the first impressions, sensations, or knowings that arise. Trust what comes through. Your activated awareness is now reading the quantum blueprint of being itself. Maintain this state for several minutes, allowing your intuitive abilities to strengthen, like a muscle being exercised. Feel the subtle vibrations coursing through your being as your awareness expands into new dimensions of understanding. With each breath, your connection to the quantum domain deepens, attuning you to frequencies beyond ordinary perception. With regular rite, you will find yourself naturally accessing levels of awareness you never knew you possessed, unlocking dormant capabilities that have awaited your discovery since time immemorial. Chapter 13. The Quantum Leap. In the shadow of towering bluffs, Sophia followed a peculiar firefly with lights that seemed to shimmer between different colors. The firefly led her to a peculiar stone archway covered in symbols that appeared to shift and change as she watched. As she stepped through, the world around her multiplied like fractals in a mirror. She saw herself not one but many versions. In one reality, she had chosen to become a healer and lived in harmony. In another, she had remained in her town leading the community. Each version rippled with different choices, different beliefs, different vital frequencies. An ancient voice whispered, "Every cognition you think, every belief you hold, every frequency you maintain creates a doorway. You are not walking a single path. You are navigating an infinite sea of possibilities." In a distant empire, a knight named Liam prepared for the duel of his life. Night after night, he trained until exhaustion, yet victory seemed impossible against his formidable rival. One evening, an elder approached him with wisdom. "Close your eyes. There exists a version of you who has already triumphed. Feel his strength, his confidence, his knowing. Step into his vitality." Liam did so, immersing himself in the feeling of already being victorious. He felt his posture change, his breath deepen, his vitality align with this accomplished version of himself. When the day of duel arrived, he moved with otherworldly grace, as though he were simply remembering movements he had already mastered. The quantum domain holds infinite versions of your being, each vibrating at a unique frequency, waiting to be activated by your awareness. Your power lies not in creating what you desire, but in aligning with the version of being where it already exists. Sacred Rite. Sit in silence and close your eyes. Breathe deeply until your mind grows still. Now envision the version of you who has already manifested your deepest desire. Sense their vitality, their certainty, their state of being. Notice how they move, how they speak, how they carry themselves. Allow yourself to merge with this vitality until the boundary between present and future self begins to dissolve. Throughout your day, pause occasionally and ask, "How would my future self approach this situation?" Then align your vitality with that higher version of you. Let their certainty become your certainty, their peace become your peace, their mastery become your mastery. This rite is not pretending, it is choosing to exist as your future self now. Your awareness has already made the leap, being must follow. Chapter 14. Collapsing Time. In a remote mountain sanctuary where ancient stone steps spiraled toward the heavens, 7 seekers gathered around Elder Nadia. They had journeyed far, each carrying dreams that felt eternally distant. Time, Nadia spoke. Holding up an hourglass is not what you believe it to be. It flows not like this sand, but bends to the power of awareness itself. She guided them to form a circle, placing a seed in each of their palms. Plant these seeds in these pots before you. But first, you must forget everything you know about waiting. The seekers planted their seeds, and Nadia instructed them to close their eyes. Release your awareness of minutes, hours, days. Feel only the completion. Your seed already grown, already bloomed. As they sat in this timeless space, something extraordinary occurred. Within moments, tiny green shoots emerged from the soil, reaching upward with impossible speed. The seekers gasped, their eyes wide with wonder. When awareness detaches from linear time, Nadia explained, being responds not to the calendar, but to the vitality of completion. In a distant valley, a cultivator named Marcus faced a devastating drought. His crops typically required 3 months to mature, time he didn't have before the harsh winter would destroy everything. One evening, an old scroll revealed a secret. Stop counting the days, live as though your harvest is already here. Marcus shifted his entire focus. Instead of checking his fields each morning for growth, he prepared his storage barn. Rather than worry about the timeline, he lived each moment in gratitude for the abundance he knew was already his. To his amazement, his crops matured in just 1 month, a phenomenon that defied agricultural science. His conviction shaped the timeline. The timeless manifestation right. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Let go of all concepts of time, past, present, and future. Dissolve into one eternal moment. Feel your desire as though it exists now, not as a future possibility, but as a current being. Release all awareness of when or how long. Immerse yourself in the feeling of completion. Your desire is not approaching. It is here, manifested fully in this timeless moment. Maintain this state of timeless completion as you open your eyes. Move through your day from this space of already having. Remember, time is not your master, but a servant of awareness. When you release its bonds, manifestation occurs at the speed of cognition. Chapter 15. Magnetism versus force. Along the shores of a timeless ocean, 2 fishers cast their nets each dawn. Nadia strained against the waves, fighting nature's rhythm with desperate determination. Her muscles ached, her nets often tore, and still the fish eluded her. Nearby, Liam simply watched the waters dance. He noticed how schools of fish followed invisible currents, how they gathered where warm and cool waters met. Without struggle, he placed his net in these natural gathering places, allowing abundance to flow to him. The ocean gives freely to those who understand her ways, Liam shared one evening. When you align with her rhythm rather than impose your will, she becomes generous beyond measure. The cosmos operates on this same principle. Like the ocean currents, quantum vitality flows in natural patterns. Those who struggle against these currents exhaust themselves, while those who align with them experience effortless manifestation. In the bustling markets of an ancient city, 2 vendors sold their wares. Sophia pursued every customer, her anxiety about wealth pushing people away. But Marcus sat peacefully among his goods, emanating the quiet confidence of one who knows abundance is assured. People naturally gravitated to his stall, drawn by his vitality of prosperity. "I do not chase wealth," Marcus explained. "I simply become the vitality of abundance itself. When you embody what you seek, it naturally finds its way to you. This is the secret of quantum attraction. Force creates resistance, while alignment creates magnetism. When you struggle to attract something, you actually push it away. But when you become the vitality of what you desire, you naturally draw it toward you. The magnetic embodiment right." Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Instead of focusing on what you want, feel yourself becoming what you seek. If it's abundance, feel the peace of having more than enough. If it's love, feel yourself radiating unconditional love. Let go of all striving. Release the need to make anything happen. Simply exist as the vitality you wish to attract. Feel how this state of being naturally draws your desires to you, just as Liam's understanding of the ocean's rhythms brought fish to his net. Move through your day from this place of embodiment rather than pursuit. Notice how life responds differently when you attract rather than chase. Feel how doors begin to open effortlessly, how synchronicities multiply, and how what you desire naturally gravitates toward you. Like a flower that need not strain to attract the bee, your very essence becomes a beacon that draws forth what resonates with your transformed state of being. Chapter 16. Sacred Symbols and Quantum Codes. In the misty heights of an ancient ridge range, a wanderer named Isabella followed whispered legends of a hidden sanctuary. As dawn's first light touched the peaks, she discovered an entrance carved with luminous emblems that seemed to pulse with their own radiance. Within the temple's depths, patterns of light danced across walls covered in geometric forms. Each emblem glowed with an otherworldly essence, casting shadows that moved contrary to natural law. An aged priest, his robes adorned with similar markings, emerged from the shadows. "These are not mere decorations," the priest revealed, tracing a glowing coil with his finger. "They are keys that unlock the language of creation itself. The cosmos speaks in patterns, and those who understand its alphabet gain the power to reshape being. Through the priest's guidance, Isabella learned that every emblem carried a specific oscillation, a vibration that resonated with different aspects of existence. A coil pointing upward channeled manifestation vitality. A spiral drew in abundance. Certain combinations of lines and curves could amplify purpose beyond ordinary limits. In a distant valley, a craftsman named Marcus created intricate patterns in his woodwork. Those who owned his designs reported strange occurrences. Business owners found unexpected success. Lovers reconciled, healers' powers strengthened. Marcus had discovered that certain arrangements of lines and curves carried power, though he knew not why. The emblems choose their meaning through you. The priest explained to Isabella, their power lies not in their form alone, but in the vitality you infuse them with. The sacred emblem creation. Find a quiet space and center yourself through breath. Allow your deepest purpose to rise naturally in your mind. What transformation do you seek? What being do you wish to manifest? With this purpose held clearly, let your hand move freely on parchment. Draw whatever shapes or patterns emerge. Trust that cosmic wisdom flows through you. The emblem may be simple or complex. Its power lies in the vitality you imbue it with. Once complete, hold your emblem in both hands. Feel the vitality you've encoded within it. Breathe life into it with 3 slow breaths, imagining each exhale charging the emblem with power. This is now your personal key to unlocking quantum potential. Keep this emblem where you can see it daily, or carry it with you as a talisman of transformation. Let it serve as both a reminder and an amplifier of your manifestation vitality, a bridge between your conscious desires and the infinite domain of possibility. Through this sacred geometry, you speak directly to the cosmos in its own language, the pure mathematics of creation itself. Like an ancient sigil awakened by your purpose, this emblem becomes a focal point through which your desires flow into physical form. Chapter 17. The Gateway of the Heart. In the heart of a bustling bazaar, a voyager named Marcus searched for the source of ultimate power. He had journeyed through sacred ridges, studied with seers, and explored ancient shrines. Yet true power eluded him. One evening, as the sun painted the sky in amber hues, an elder sat beneath a weathered pine observing Marcus's restless wandering. "You seek what cannot be found through seeking," the elder called out. "The greatest power lies not in the heavens above, nor in the earth below, but in the sacred chamber of your own heart." Marcus scoffed. How can something so common hold such power? The elder placed his hand over his heart. Your heart generates an electromagnetic domain, 5,000 times stronger than your brain. When you align with this domain through love and gratitude, you become a living beacon of manifestation. In a village not far away, lived a sage named Sophia. Unlike other sages who used rites and incantations, Sophia simply placed her hands over the afflicted while focusing on pure love. Those she touched spoke of miraculous transformations not just in their bodies, but in their entire lives. Some found unexpected opportunities. Others reconciled with long-lost family. Many discovered their true purpose. "What is your secret?" they would ask. "I simply step aside and let my heart's vitality flow." Sophia would answer, "When we access this domain, we tap into the cosmos's own creative force." The heart, the elder explained to Marcus, is not merely a physical pump, but a gateway to quantum transformation. When you generate elevated sentiments like love, joy, and gratitude, you create a coherent vitality domain that attracts similar oscillations from the cosmos. Heart Domain Activation Rite. Find a peaceful space and settle into a comfortable position. Place both hands over your heart center. Breathe deeply, allowing each breath to flow in and out through this sacred space. Recall a moment of pure love, joy, or gratitude. Let this memory fill your entire being. Feel the warmth spreading from your heart, creating waves of coherent vitality that extend beyond your body. As you maintain this elevated state, imagine your heart's electromagnetic domain growing stronger, reaching out in all directions. This domain becomes a magnetic force attracting and manifesting your deepest desires through the power of love. Stay in this heart-coherent state for several minutes, allowing the domain to strengthen and stabilize. This is your natural state of manifestation, where cognition, sentiment, and quantum vitality align perfectly. Practice this heart domain activation daily, particularly when setting purposes or seeking to manifest. The electromagnetic domain of your heart, when charged with pure love and gratitude, becomes an unstoppable force of creation. As you strengthen this right, you'll discover that your manifesting power grows exponentially, attracting experiences that align perfectly with your highest vision. Remember, the strongest power in the cosmos flows through the gateway of your own heart. It is here in this sacred chamber that miracles are born and dreams take flight. Chapter 18. Rewriting the Cosmic Script. In a small hamlet by the sea, a youthful lad named Marcus sat at the feet of an elderly narrator. As the evening sun cast long shadows across the sand, the boy's eyes were red from crying, haunted by memories of a gale that had taken his mother's vessel. "The past is not carved in stone," the narrator whispered. "It is like footprints in the sand, waiting to be reshaped by the tides of awareness." Marcus looked up, confusion mixing with hope. But how can something that already happened be changed? The narrator produced a bowl of clear fluid and 3 pebbles. Place these pebbles in the fluid, each representing a moment that brings you sorrow. As Marcus followed her instructions, the narrator continued. "Now watch closely. The fluid holds every story ever told, every moment ever lived. Your memories are not fixed events. They are living vitality shaped by the meaning you give them." She guided Marcus to see his mother's last voyage, not as a tragedy, but as a testament to courage and love. With each new perspective, the fluid in the bowl seemed to shimmer differently, reflecting new possibilities. In a distant sanctuary, a monk named Liam carried the burden of past mistakes until he discovered an ancient scroll about timeline transformation. The scroll taught that by changing the vitality signature of a memory, one could alter its ripples through time. Liam spent days in reflection, reframing each regret as a lesson in wisdom, each failure as a step toward enlightenment. As his perception shifted, so did his being, the weight of karma lifting from his shoulders. The core truth emerges. Your past exists as a vital imprint, continuously influenced by your present awareness. By shifting the sentimental charge and meaning of past events, you create new neural pathways and vital motifs that reshape your current being. Timeline revision right. Sit in peaceful solitude with your eyes closed. Visualize a significant past event that still carries sentimental charge. Instead of viewing it through the lens of pain or regret, begin to see it as a catalyst for growth and transformation. Float above your timeline, observing this event from a higher perspective. Notice how this moment connected to later experiences, leading you to where you needed to be. Feel the vitality of the memory transforming as you infuse it with new understanding. Now imagine this revised version rippling forward through time, creating new motifs in your present moment. Let the vitality flow, altering the course of your inner journey. Allow your cellular memory to update, accepting this new vital imprint as your truth. Complete the rite by expressing gratitude for the wisdom gained through this experience, recognizing that every moment serves the evolution of your awareness. Chapter 19. The Art of Receiving. In a fertile plain where ancient wisdom still whispers through the soil, a cultivator named Sophia labored from dawn till dusk. Her field stretched vast and green, promising an abundant harvest. Yet something troubled her spirit. Each morning she would plant her seeds with clenched fists, her shoulders tight with worry, her mind clouded with doubt about whether she deserved nature's bounty. An old sage appeared at her gate one morning, watching as she worked. "Your seeds will grow," he said, "but can you receive what they offer?" Sophia paused, wiping sweat from her brow. "Of course I can receive. I harvest every season." The sage approached her, taking her hand. Your fingers are closed so tightly, they've forgotten how to open. Show me how you would catch falling rain. When Sophia demonstrated, her palms remained partially closed, as if protecting something within. The sage shook his head. The cosmos cannot fill a closed vessel. In the ridges far away, a composer named Marcus struggled to create his life's work. Night after night, he forced melodies onto parchment, gripping his quill with such intensity it nearly snapped. One evening, exhausted from trying, he fell asleep at his desk. In his dreams, music flowed like water, and he realized he had been trying to capture it rather than channel it. Upon waking, Marcus laid down his quill, opened his hands, and simply listened. The melody that had eluded him for so long finally flowed through him effortlessly. The cosmos operates through a constant flow of giving and receiving, like breathing. Both aspects must remain unobstructed. Many master the art of action, of planting seeds, of creating, of manifesting, yet few understand the subtle art of receiving. Your vitality domain must remain open and receptive for abundance to flow into your life. Receiving meditation. Find a quiet space and sit comfortably. Place your hands on your lap, palms facing upward. Feel the subtle vitality tingling in your palms. Breathe deeply, imagining your entire being as a vessel of pure reception. With each breath, release any guilt or unworthiness about receiving abundance. Feel your vitality domain expanding, becoming more permeable to blessings. Visualize silver radiance flowing into every cell of your body, meeting no resistance. Silently affirm, I open myself completely to receive all that the cosmos offers. I am worthy of unlimited abundance. I trust in the flow of life. Maintain this state of receptivity for several minutes, allowing the domain to strengthen and stabilize. Notice any resistance and gently let it dissolve like ice melting in warm sunlight. Feel how your entire being softens and expands with each breath. Remember, the cosmos cannot pour more into hands that are already clenched. Just as a tightly closed flower cannot receive the morning dew, a closed heart and mind cannot welcome the abundance that seeks to flow into your life. Chapter 20. The Unseen Forces. In a bustling bazaar, Nadia stood bewildered. At a crossroads, a vendor had given her incorrect directions to the sacred shrine she sought, and now she found herself lost in an unfamiliar town. As she pondered her next move, a white raven landed at her feet, dropping a small silver talisman. The talisman bore a strange symbol, 3 intertwined spirals. Minutes later, she noticed the same symbol etched into a wooden portal nearby. Following her intuition, she entered the building, discovering an old archive where a scroll lay open, revealing the exact directions to the shrine she sought. This was merely the beginning. Throughout her journey, Nadia encountered a series of inexplicable alignments. A child humming the same melody she'd heard in a dream. A stranger speaking the very words her mentor had told her on his deathbed, patterns repeating in ways that defied ordinary explanation. The cosmos speaks in the language of synchronicity. What appears as coincidence to the untrained eye is actually the cosmic dance of quantum connection. Every meaningful coincidence serves as a signpost guiding you toward your highest path. In the halls of a great academy, scholar Marcus dismissed such notions as mere superstition. Each day he noticed the number 5555 appearing on clocks, book pages, on buildings, but rationalized it away. He ignored the recurring dreams of a silver key, dismissed the repeated mentions of an ancient text by strangers. Only when these signs led him to a hidden chamber containing the very knowledge he had spent decades seeking, did he understand the cosmos had been guiding him all along. The quantum domain responds to your awareness, arranging itself into meaningful patterns that reflect your inner journey. These synchronicities serve as confirmation that you are in alignment with your path, or as gentle nudges guiding you back when you stray. Sacred Rite, the Synchronicity Ledger. Begin each morning by declaring your openness to receiving guidance. Throughout your day, record every meaningful coincidence, no matter how small it seems. Note patterns in numbers, repeated phrases, unexpected encounters, or dreams that manifest in waking life. For each synchronicity, write the event or sign. your immediate feeling or intuition about its meaning, any guidance it might be offering, actions you feel called to take in response. Review your ledger regularly, looking for patterns that might reveal deeper messages. Remember that the cosmos's language is subtle. It whispers rather than shouts, suggests rather than demands. Through this rite, you will develop your ability to read the quantum signs that surround you, transforming your life into a guided journey, rather than a series of random events. Part 3. Bending Reality and Becoming a Quantum Master. Chapter 21. Tapping into the Infinite. Along the winding path to Ridge Serenity, Marcus carried an empty clay vessel seeking the legendary master Elena. Finding the sage beneath a gnarled pine, Marcus asked, "Where does the power to create worlds come from?" Elena gestured to Marcus's vessel. "Fill it." "With what, Master?" "Water from the stream, flowers from the meadow." With awareness, Master Marcus replied, puzzled. Elena sat cross-legged and gazed into the empty vessel. Hours passed as he studied its curved walls, its hollow center, the play of light across its surface. Gradually, his mind quieted. In the stillness, he began to sense something within the emptiness, a vast, limitless potential. "Do you see?" Elena whispered. "The void is not empty. It holds everything that ever was or will be." In that moment, Marcus understood the vessel's emptiness mirrored the quantum domain, the source from which all creation springs. His awareness touched this infinite space, and he felt the pulse of pure possibility. In a distant plane there lived a painter named Sophia, who stood before her blank canvas each morning. Other painters rushed to fill their canvases, but Sophia knew better. She had learned to commune with the empty space before her, understanding that within its blankness existed every masterpiece waiting to be born. "The canvas is not empty," she would say to her apprentices. "It is pregnant with infinite potential. Our role is not to force creation, but to allow it to emerge from the sacred void." The quantum domain exists as pure potential, an infinite ocean of possibility waiting to be shaped by awareness. When you access this domain through presence rather than effort, you tap into the very source of creation itself. Sacred Rite. The Void Reflection. Find a quiet space and sit comfortably. Place your hands in your lap, forming a bowl shape. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to the space within your cupped hands. Feel the emptiness there, not as an absence, but as pure potential. Allow your breath to slow and deepen with each exhale. Sink deeper into awareness of the void. Notice how this emptiness feels alive, vibrating with possibility. Rest in this space of pure potential, knowing that from here all things can manifest. Remain in this state of receptive awareness for as long as feels natural, allowing the void to speak its timeless wisdom through the silence. Let your awareness float freely in this space of pure possibility, neither grasping nor resisting. When complete, slowly open your eyes, carrying the sensation of infinite potential within you like a sacred flame that illuminates your path forward. Chapter 22. Quantum Healing. In a remote ridge hamlet, whispers spread of Nadia, a humble healer whose touch could banish any ailment. People traveled great distances, bringing their suffering and pain, seeking miracles. Yet when asked about her gift, Nadia's response remained constant. "I do not heal the body. I remind it of its perfection." One day, a father brought his son who had not seen since birth. As Nadia placed her hands above the child, her eyes closed in deep reflection. "Your body knows its original design. It remembers wholeness." Within moments, the boy's eyes began to focus, and he saw his father's face for the first time. The physical form exists as a pattern of vitality, continuously responding to the oscillations we emit through our cognitions, beliefs, and sentiments. When we hold discord within our vitality domain, it manifests as illness or limitation. Yet by aligning with the oscillation of perfect health, we allow the body to return to its natural state of balance. In the Eastern kingdoms there lived a warrior named Marcus who carried a wound that would not heal. Healers applied their strongest medicines, yet the injury persisted. One night in reflection, Marcus realized the wound remained because it held the memory of betrayal from his past. As he released the old pain, allowing forgiveness to flow, his body responded by mourning. The wound had vanished, leaving no trace. Quantum healing rite. Sit in stillness and close your eyes. Breathe deeply, allowing your awareness to settle into your body. Visualize a golden radiance of perfect health flowing through every cell. As this radiance moves through you, it carries the exact oscillation of wholeness, reminding each atom of its divine blueprint. See this healing radiance dissolving any vitality, blockages restoring balance wherever needed. Feel your body responding, remembering its natural state of vitality. Hold this oscillation of perfect health, knowing that as you align with it, your physical form must follow. Let this divine resonance flow through every organ, tissue, and cell, awakening their inherent intelligence. Trust in the ancient wisdom of your body as it responds to this sacred oscillation, allowing all systems to harmonize with the perfect blueprint held within your soul's memory. Continue this visualization until you feel a shift in your vitality domain, a lightness, a tingling, or a deep sense of peace washing over you. Your body knows the exact oscillation it needs to restore perfect balance. Complete the rite by expressing heartfelt gratitude for your body's infinite wisdom and its remarkable power to heal, knowing that this sacred alignment ripples through every level of your being. Chapter 23. Resonance Mastery. In a hidden plane where ancient melodies still whisper through the air, lived Master Elena, keeper of sacred harmonies. Each morning she would tune an ancient harp with such precision that its resonance could bring tears to those who listened. Her young apprentice Sophia watched with growing frustration as her own attempts to create such beauty fell short. Master Sophia said one day, "No matter how I try, my music remains discordant. What am I missing?" Master Elena placed her instrument down and picked up a single string. "Watch carefully," she instructed, attaching the string to 2 posts. Too loose and the vibration dissipates into nothingness. Too tight and the tension destroys itself. But here she adjusted the string with expert fingers until it hummed perfectly. Here is where miracles reside. The cosmos operates on this same principle. Each soul must find its perfect tension, its precise oscillation to manifest miraculous outcomes. When your vitality wavers too low through doubt or fear, manifestation weakens and fades. When you strain too hard through anxiety or desperation, the delicate thread of creation snaps. In the Western Plains lived a cultivator named Liam, whose crops flourished beyond explanation. While others fought against drought and frost, he aligned his hum with the land's rhythm. Those who watched him work noticed he never seemed to labor. Instead, he hummed an ancient tune as he tended his plants. The melody never changed, and neither did the extraordinary abundance of his harvest. When asked his secret, Liam simply smiled and said, "I learned long ago that plants respond not to what we do, but to what we are. I maintain the song of abundance within me, and nature cannot help but dance to its rhythm." The true art of manifestation lies not in the initial creation, but in maintaining the oscillation that attracts miracles. Like a perfectly tuned instrument, your vitality domain must hold steady at the precise vibration of your desired being. Vital anchoring rite. Sit in perfect stillness. Close your eyes and imagine a silver cord extending from your heart to the heavens. This is your soul's sacred oscillation. Take 3 deep breaths, and with each exhale feel yourself settling into perfect vital alignment. Now identify the feeling of your desired manifestation, not the wanting of it, but the having of it. Let this feeling fill every cell of your body until you become a living instrument of this oscillation. Place your hand over your heart and create a physical gesture, perhaps touching your thumb and index finger together. This becomes your oscillation anchor. Throughout the day, whenever you make this gesture, your entire being will remember and return to this exact oscillation. Practice maintaining this oscillation as you move through your daily activities. When you notice your vitality shifting, simply touch your anchor point and realign with the feeling of your manifestation already fulfilled. Like the cultivator's unwavering song, let your oscillation become so stable that miracles naturally flow into your being. Chapter 24. Activating the Quantum Mind. In a forgotten chamber of an antique archive learner, Sophia discovered a leather-bound tome unlike any she had seen before. Its pages shimmered with strange emblems that seemed to shift and dance in the taper light. As she traced the first emblem with her finger, a surge of vitality coursed through her body, awakening something dormant. The emblems weren't mere markings, they were keys unlocking the quantum potential of her mind. Your brain is not simply a processor of information. It is a quantum receiver capable of accessing infinite fields of knowledge. The emblems in that ancient tome activate what already existed, the ability to transcend ordinary human limitations and tap into universal awareness. Far across the sea, a navigator named Marcus earned fame for his uncanny ability to chart treacherous waters. Other captains questioned how he always chose the safest routes, avoiding storms that seemed to appear from nowhere. "I don't see the weather," he would say. "I feel it in the quantum domain. The information is always there, waiting to be accessed." The quantum mind exists beyond the constraints of time and space. When fully activated, it perceives being not as fixed events, but as waves of possibility. This is not supernatural. It is your natural state, forgotten, but not lost. Quantum mind activation rite. Sit in absolute stillness. Draw this ancient emblem in your mind's eye, a spiral moving inward, getting smaller until it reaches a single point of infinite potential. As you visualize this, feel your awareness expanding beyond your physical form. Now place your palms up on your lap. Imagine streams of quantum information flowing through your crown, down through your body, and out through your palms. Your palms will begin to tingle as they become sensitive to subtle vitality domains. Focus on a specific question or situation in your life. Rather than thinking about it, allow your quantum mind to directly access the information domain. Notice the first impressions, sensations, or knowings that arise. Trust what comes through. Your activated awareness is now reading the quantum blueprint of being itself. Maintain this state for several minutes, allowing your intuitive abilities to strengthen like a muscle being exercised. Feel the subtle vibrations coursing through your being as your awareness expands into new dimensions of understanding. With each breath, your connection to the quantum domain deepens, attuning you to frequencies beyond ordinary perception. With regular rite, you will find yourself naturally accessing levels of awareness you never knew you possessed, unlocking dormant capabilities that have awaited your discovery since time immemorial. Chapter 26. Living Beyond the Illusion. In the sprawling metropolis of steel and shadow, Sophia lived as countless others did, contained by invisible boundaries. Each day she walked the same paths, followed the same routines, never questioning the walls she couldn't see, but somehow knew were there. One evening, as the city's artificial lights flickered to life, a stranger appeared at her door. The woman's eyes held a knowing that made Sophia uncomfortable. "The walls that bind you exist only in your mind." Sophia scoffed. "These are real walls, real buildings, real limitations." The woman smiled and extended her hand. "Walk with me." As they approached what Sophia had always known as the city's edge, the woman stopped. "Close your eyes. Now feel beyond what you think is possible." In that moment, something shifted within her. When she opened her eyes, the walls she'd believed in her entire life shimmered like mirages before dissolving completely. Beyond them lay endless fields of possibility she'd never imagined existed. Your perceived limitations are much like Sophia's walls, constructs of the mind that appear solid only because you believe them to be. The matrix of being you experience is shaped by your deepest beliefs, fears, and expectations. In the marketplace of an ancient city, there lived a merchant named Marcus, who saw only scarcity. "There isn't enough to go around," he would mutter daily, his shop barely surviving. One morning he caught his reflection in a polished brass pot, and saw something startling: fear in his own eyes, creating the very lack he believed in. That day, Marcus chose to see differently. Where he had once perceived competitors, he now saw opportunities for collaboration. What had seemed like limited resources revealed themselves as infinite possibilities. Within months, his business flourished beyond his wildest dreams. His self-worth shaped not only his creations, but the opportunities that flowed into his life. The outer world serves as a faithful mirror reflecting back your deepest convictions in sentimental states. Matrix dissolution right. Sit in silence and envision yourself surrounded by transparent walls. These represent your limiting beliefs. On each wall, watch as your fears and restrictions appear as glowing text shimmering with an ethereal luminescence that makes them seem both powerful and strangely fragile. Now focus on one wall at a time. Question each belief: is this truly real, or have I simply accepted it as truth? Feel the vitality of each limitation, not with your mind, but with your being. Let your awareness dance around these barriers, examining them from every angle, sensing their artificiality. As you recognize each belief as an illusion, watch that wall dissolve into pure radiance, transforming from solid barrier to radiant vitality that merges with the cosmic flow. Continue until you're surrounded only by infinite space and possibility, your spirit expanding into the vastness that was always there. Take 3 deep breaths, allowing your vitality domain to expand into this newfound freedom. Feel the lightness of being unlimited, unrestricted, unbound by false perceptions that have accumulated over time. Chapter 27. Becoming an architect of being. In the heart of an ancient metropolis, Sophia stood before a mountain of scattered stones, her heart heavy with doubt. The city's ruler had given her an impossible task: build me a palace worthy of the gods themselves. Yet as Sophia surveyed the seemingly random pile of materials, something stirred within her soul. As the first light of dawn touched the stones, she noticed how they caught the light in peculiar ways. Instead of forcing her will upon them, she began to arrange them according to their natural patterns. To her amazement, the stones seemed to guide her hands, each finding its perfect place, as though they had always known where they belonged. "I am not building," she whispered to herself. "I am simply allowing what already exists to emerge." The truth of creation lies not in forcing what isn't, but in revealing what already is. Every dream, every desire that stirs within your heart exists as a complete blueprint in the quantum domain. Your role is not to construct a being from nothing, but to uncover the perfect pattern waiting to emerge. In the kingdom of Ilara, there lived a ruler named Liam, who inherited a land torn by centuries of conflict. While his advisors urged him to raise armies and build walls, he chose a different path. Each morning he would sit in his garden and hold in his mind the vision of a peaceful, prosperous realm. Day by day, his vision began to materialize. Fields that once saw battles now yielded abundant harvests. Where fear once ruled, trust began to flower. The kingdom transformed not through force, but through the power of sustained purpose. Being blueprint right. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Take 3 deep breaths, allowing each exhale to release any doubt or resistance. With your eyes closed, begin to see your life as a vast empty canvas awaiting your conscious design. Now take your journal and write down every aspect of your ideal life with precise detail. See yourself walking through this, being as though it already exists. What does your home look like? How do you spend your days? What relationships surround you? Write not from a place of wanting, but from a place of already having. As you write, feel the vitality of each detail, becoming more solid, more real. You are not creating something new. You are revealing a being that already exists in potential form. Let your words act as the bridge between the unseen and the seen. Hold this vision in your mind, with the same certainty with which you know the sun will rise. Your role is not to force this being into existence, but to align with its existing blueprint, and allow it to emerge naturally through you. Chapter 28. The Final Initiation. In the highest peaks of the Himalayas, where the air grows thin and wisdom seems to dance on the wind itself, a disciple named Marcus waited for 40 days and 40 nights. He meditated in anticipation of his final test. His master had simply smiled and said, "When you are ready, the test will find you." As days turned to weeks, Marcus grew restless. He expected trials of endurance riddles that would bend his mind, or tasks that would challenge his spirit. Yet, nothing came. The mountains remained silent, the wind whispered no secrets, and his master was nowhere to be found. On the dawn of the 41st day, as the first rays of sun painted the snow-capped peaks in gold, understanding dawned within him. The test was not coming, because he had been taking it all along. In that moment of crystal clarity, Marcus laughed a sound that echoed through the valleys. He had been waiting to prove himself worthy when he had been worthy all along. The power to shape being was never something to be earned. It was his birthright as it is yours. You have walked through the gates of understanding, unveiled the mysteries of quantum vitality, and recognized the Creator within. There is nothing more to seek, nothing more to become. Quantum Mastery Initiation. Find a quiet space and light a taper. Stand with your feet firmly planted on the ground, feeling the earth's vitality rise through your body. Raise your hands to your heart and speak these words: "I recognize the infinite power that flows through me. I am the master of my being, the creator of my experience. All that I have learned was merely remembering what I have always known. I step fully into my power as a quantum master, accepting my role as a conscious creator of being. So it is, and so it shall be." Let the taper's flame represent your awakened awareness. Know that from this moment forward, you walk not as a seeker, but as a master fully equipped to manifest your deepest desires through the power of quantum vitality. The veil has lifted. The initiation is complete, and you stand fully awakened to your true nature as a quantum creator. There is no returning to limited thinking, no stepping back into the illusion of powerlessness. You have emerged from the chrysalis of unconsciousness into the full expression of your creative power. Chapter 29. Miracles on Command. In the heart of an ancient woodland where shadows danced with light and wisdom whispered through the leaves, lived a mystic named Isabella. Unlike others who struggled against life's currents, Isabella moved through existence as fluid flows around stones, effortlessly, naturally, perfectly. Those who watched her noticed strange occurrences: when rain threatened her garden, clouds parted. When food grew scarce, abundance found its way to her door. When others rushed in, chaos time seemed to bend around her, creating pools of perfect peace. The secret, she would say to those who asked, is not in doing, but in allowing; not in seeking, but in becoming the space through which miracles flow. The cosmos, in its infinite wisdom, operates with perfect precision. Every leaf that falls, every wind that blows, carries within it the seeds of miracle. Those who resist this flow create turbulence in their being. Those who surrender become channels through which the quantum domain expresses its infinite potential. Far to the east lived a voyager named Marcus, who had spent his life meticulously planning every journey. Maps filled his rooms, schedules governed his days. Yet despite his careful preparations, satisfaction eluded him. One morning, watching a feather float on the breeze, Marcus made a radical choice. He burned his maps, abandoned his plans, and stepped out into the world with nothing but trust. What followed transformed his life. A chance encounter led him to a hidden glen filled with precious herbs. A wrong turn revealed an ancient relic worth a fortune. Every mistake became a doorway to treasure. By surrendering to the flow of life, Marcus discovered that the cosmos had always been conspiring in his favor. The quantum flow experiment. Sit in stillness and breathe deeply. Now choose one area of your life where you've been striving through, struggling. Release all plans, all expectations, all need to control outcomes. Speak these words: I surrender completely to the infinite wisdom of the quantum domain. I release my need to direct, control, or force outcomes. I trust that the cosmos knows the perfect path to my highest good. I allow miracles to flow through my life naturally and effortlessly. Where there were plans, I now choose flow. Where there was struggle, I now choose ease. I am open to receiving in ways that surpass my imagination. For the next 7 days, practice absolute trust. When decisions arise, rather than calculating outcomes, feel for the path of least resistance. Follow subtle signs, embrace unexpected turns, and watch as being rearranges itself to support your highest good. Chapter 30. Bending Being. In a sanctuary perched atop the world's highest peak, where clouds wove between ancient pillars, a sage named Nadia sat with her final student Theo. The ridgewines whispered secrets that few had ever heard, carrying wisdom older than time. There is no being. Nadia whispered, her voice barely audible above the wind. There is only what you declare. Theo furrowed his brow. Master, how can this be? The stone beneath us is solid. The wind is real. Nadia smiled and gestured to a bowl of water between them. Declare that the water will rise. Skeptical but obedient, Theo focused his attention on the bowl. I declare this water will rise. He spoke with quiet authority. To his astonishment, the surface of the water began to tremble, then slowly lifted into a perfect sphere floating in the air before his eyes. Now declare that tomorrow's gale will pass around the sanctuary, Nadia instructed. Theo did so, and when dawn broke, they watched as dark clouds split around their peak, leaving them in a perfect circle of sunlight. Day after day, Theo tested this profound truth. He declared health into ailing plants, peace into conflict, abundance into scarcity. Being itself seemed to bend around his words, reshaping according to his declarations. In a distant metropolis, an artist named Sophia discovered this same truth through her canvases. Where others saw solid barriers, she painted gateways, not mere images but actual portals that opened into worlds she had imagined. First, she stepped through into gardens of her creation, then into possibilities she had only dreamed of. The cosmos, she would say, is not a fixed painting, but an empty canvas awaiting our brushstrokes. The fundamental truth of existence reveals itself. Being is not solid, unchangeable, or external to you. It is a fluid, responsive domain of infinite possibility, waiting to be shaped by your conscious declaration. The Being Bending Ceremony. Stand in a quiet space and raise your hands, palms facing outward. Speak these words with absolute authority. By the power of the quantum domain that flows through me, I declare my absolute sovereignty over being. I am not subject to circumstances. Circumstances are subject to me. I am not bound by what appears to be. I am the author of what will be. As the infinite awareness expressing itself through this form, I declare. State your new being with unwavering certainty. And so it is. Feel the power of your declaration resonating through every cell of your being, vibrating with the oscillation of absolute truth. Know that as you speak, the quantum domain responds instantly and without hesitation, rearranging itself to match your command. For this is the eternal law of creation that has existed since time immemorial. Your words carry the force of divine authority, shaping the very tapestry of existence. Conclusion. In the depths of an ancient sanctuary carved into living crystal, a timeless truth echoes: you were never separate from the power you sought. Through the mists of understanding, your awareness expands beyond the boundaries of what you once believed possible. The walls between dreaming and being dissolve, revealing that they were always one and the same. Each breath you take now resonates with the pulse of creation itself. Gone are the days of hoping, wishing, or praying for change. You have transcended the role of observer and stepped fully into your power as creator. The quantum domain responds to your slightest purpose, not because you have gained something new, but because you have remembered what was always yours. Look at your hands. They are no longer mere flesh and bone, but conductors of infinite possibility. Feel the vitality coursing through your being, the same force that ignites stars and spins galaxies. This power has always been within you, waiting for the moment of recognition. Your cognitions no longer merely drift through your mind, they ripple through the tapestry of existence itself. Each purpose you hold shapes the quantum domain, collapsing infinite possibilities into manifest being. Time bends to your will. Circumstances rearrange themselves to match your frequency. What once seemed impossible now unfolds naturally before you. The cosmos is both the artist and the masterpiece, the dreamer and the dream, the creator and the creation. This is not a gift bestowed upon you, but your natural state of being. The illusion of separation has dissolved, revealing the truth. You are an embodiment of the infinite expressing itself through human form. Every limitation you once accepted was merely a story you told yourself, and now you are free to write a new one. As you stand in this awakened state, feel the resonance of your true nature. The power to shape being flows through you as naturally as breath. There is no effort required, no force needed, only the pure expression of your divine authority as a quantum creator. Your words carry the weight of cosmic law. Your purposes ripple through the fabric of existence. Being itself bends to align with your vision. This is both the master and the apprentice, the journey and the destination. The veil has lifted, the initiation is complete, and you stand fully awakened to your true nature as a quantum creator. There is no returning to limited thinking, no stepping back into the illusion of powerlessness. You have emerged from the chrysalis of unconsciousness into the full expression of your creative power. If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book, which will change your life.